Hey guys, it's Brittany, and I know this video is so freaking long. I'm in the middle of getting ready right now, so that's why I don't even care what I look like right now. I really wanted to film this intro, and I want you guys to know, like, I'm nervous about this video. I am nervous. I've, given hints here and there about it, saying that there is a video that Jonathan and myself recorded back in September, and I was planning for it to be my Brittyween finale, but I got scared and I didn't upload it. And, I don't even know if it's gonna be uploaded. The video is edited. I just have to add in this intro if I decide to upload it. I keep making up excuses as to why I am not gonna upload it. It's already been filmed. Jonathan and me, we filmed it September 27th, September 28th. I don't know, you will see the correct date down here. But we filmed it then, and I was supposed to make it my Brittyween finale. And all of October, it was at the back of my mind. I was just like, should I upload it at the end of the month? Like, I'm just so nervous about this. The reason why I'm nervous, guys, is because I experienced something at Chillingham Castle that I never, ever believed in. Never believed in. And it happened. And I experienced it, and Jonathan experienced it as well. We experienced this together, and that's, I feel better having Jonathan, because I feel like if this was just me saying it, I think I would have kept it to myself. And Jonathan and I, we were gonna keep it to ourselves. We just told some of our friends, close friends, our family, and we were just gonna keep this to ourselves. We just said, we have no proof. We have no proof. And it's been killing me that we have no proof about this. But then I said to Jonathan, if we just don't say anything, nobody's gonna know. And it's not like, it's not like I'm hiding something from you guys. But it's just this, what me and Jonathan and I experienced at Chillingham Castle, guys, it's so crazy. And compared to all of my investigations, nothing so crazy has happened. And this is just like on a scale from like 1 to 10, this is like 100 out of 10 what Jonathan and I experienced that night. We spent 2 nights at Chillingham Castle, but our second night was our investigation night, where we had access to, certain parts of actually the whole castle we had access to. It was amazing, guys. Chillingham Castle has changed my life. I learned so much. I've grown as a paranormal investigator. Sorry, there's a garbage truck driving by. The reason why this video is so long is because there's so much to tell. We wanted you to hear all the background info as well. And I know it's a long video, but if you have the time to watch this, please do. Don't skip forward. You have to hear everything. And I appreciate the ones who actually are watching it from start to end. I really appreciate that. Just know that I am nervous about this because it's just so crazy, you know what I mean? And we have no proof, and that's why I kept saying to Jonathan, like, I can't upload this to my channel. And he said that too, like, I don't think we should upload this, just keep it to ourselves, keep it, something that we can talk about, keep it within our family and friends. I don't know, but there's so many unanswered things in our Chillingham Castle series, and things that you guys were asking, and this video is already filmed and edited. But anyways, I don't want to keep you, but all I'm saying is what we experienced at Chillingham Castle, I never, ever believed in. And when it happened that night, my mind just exploded, and it was the scariest thing I have ever experienced, the scariest thing Jonathan has ever experienced. So I hope you listen. I hope you watch the whole thing. And I'm just nervous. So I don't even know if I'm going to upload it. I still don't know. I keep saying, oh, I'll upload it today or this day or whatever. And then I just say, I can't. I have no proof. This is just a crazy story, like, I just feel like no one's going to believe it. And that's my fear. And I don't know. I don't have to upload it though, like, I don't have to upload it. It's my decision, but at the same time, I know there's people who are like, there's more to it and stuff, and there is. Anyways, guys, if you are watching this video, I don't know, you could be. If you are, wow. I just conquered a fear of mine. Because this has been a huge fear of mine to upload. So, and this is so weird, Birdie 44's fear. My little series on my channel. But anyways, I don't even know. I just hope that you listen, you watch, you enjoy, grab some snacks, grab a meal, honestly, grab a meal. There's a lot to take in. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I'm nervous. So anyways, let's get right on into this. So how I want to begin this is I have been very hesitant to upload this. Well, we haven't even recorded it, but I've been very hesitant to make a video about this. And at first, when this happened, I didn't even want to make a video about this. I kind of wanted to keep it between us. And then we also told like our friends, but we wanted just to kind of keep it within our low key for a little bit. But I kind of knew this would happen for my Birdie Ween. So I don't even know if you guys are going to be watching this October 31st. I'm pretty sure. I'm still trying to figure out how many parts are going to be in the Chillingham Castle series, because I haven't even edited it yet, because we're filming this on September 27th or September 28th. I don't know. It's one of those days. I think it's September 27th. I don't know. But that's when we're filming this. So I don't even know what we picked up in my Chillingham Castle videos. Like, I have no idea. I haven't even looked at the footage. I've transferred it to my computer, but I have no idea what else has happened in that video. So we wanted, since this is very like fresh in our minds and stuff, we wanted to make this video. I don't even know where to begin. And I'm getting over a sickness, and that has something to do with Chillingham Castle as well. That was not fun. No, it was not. Let's put it that way. So, okay, basically, we went to Chillingham Castle for 2 nights, and I've been corresponding with the lead investigator of the Chillingham Castle paranormal group known as Chillingham Uncovered. Right? It's Chillingham Uncovered? Chillingham Uncovered. Yeah. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah. The lead investigators are Graham and Jill. So I was corresponding with Graham. I was talking to Chillingham Castle, the main desk person. Oh my god, I forgot her name. And she transferred me to Graham because I told her what I was doing and how I wanted to film a video at Chillingham Castle, because Chillingham Castle are very strict with filming. Like, you are not allowed to film at the castle. On the ghost tours, on the ghost vigils, you are not allowed to film. And actually, I think you can film though if you're just walking around in a daytime tour, because a lot of people come on the daytime tours and it's just, you know, all by yourself and you're walking around kind of just guiding your own tour. But at nighttime, there's ghost tours with Graham and Jill, and then there's a ghost vigil, which we will get into. So this is just like really like a winged video.
Well, it's more just,
yeah, it's kind of just what's coming to our heads.
It's like a conversation we're gonna have here. We're gonna be real. We're gonna take this seriously when we explain what we saw and what we heard, because it was, as I've told Brittany, I am her witness in life, because sorry, I don't want to talk over each other. Okay, first of all, I'll say so we stayed 2 nights over at Chillingham Castle, as you saw in our videos. We stayed, they're apartments. It's not like a hotel, it's apartments that you stay in. So we stayed in the courtyard apartment, and it's 2 floors. Also, too, we had our parents with us because this is part of our huge family trip that we went on. We went to Chillingham Castle first, then we went on a cruise, and then we went to England. Well, we were in England in Chillingham Castle, but I mean, we went to London. Yeah. Well, and part of that, and I know and Brittany mentioned it earlier, we got sick, and I think.
Well, we'll get into that. We think it has something to do with what happened to us at Chillingham, and I'm still, you know, getting over it in September 27th. First of all, I just want to say this experience at Chillingham Castle was absolutely amazing. It was my dream, and Jonathan too. Like, we grew up watching Scariest Places on Earth, and we've always wanted to go to Chillingham Castle. I've said this so many times on my channel. The Olsen family going in, like, we wanted to be just like that, you know, watching Most Haunted go there. This is the scariest place on earth. Chillingham Castle is known as the scariest place on earth. And what we experienced, we can confirm that it is definitely the scariest place on earth. Yep. It is this was a huge spiritual awakening for the both of us. But especially with me, I think, because I've never... More for you, I know. Yeah, and I truly believe, and I said this to Jonathan so many times, we've been talking about this like nonstop since it happened. I truly believe that we were supposed to go, the both of us were supposed to be at Chillingham Castle
and we were supposed to witness what we witnessed and experience what we experienced, like all for a reason. This was supposed to morph us, supposed to evolve us, and we also don't even call it ghost hunting anymore. We just stopped calling it that. I feel like, oh my god, we should have like,
well, it's
made notes. It's like all over the place. We call it paranormal investigating, which we've always had.
No, and it's good we call it that, because it's like, think of it this way, like ghost hunting. Look at the like word deer hunting, or you know,
hunting.
And
that plays a lot
you're
into
kill
it
them when you say ghost hunting. So
yeah. Our first night at Chillingham Castle, we really couldn't do much investigating because I had, you know, this whole deal with Graham and stuff, and with Chillingham, you know, I was paying a rental fee, even though I wasn't really, well, yeah, because I was renting the castle. We had the whole castle to ourselves, by the way. Like, it was insane. It was amazing. I walked into Chillingham Castle knowing, and I've said this before, that they are strict with filming, so I was like, you know, they could turn me down for this, they could turn me down for that. Graham was really trying to help me out because we were, you know, corresponding back and forth for a while. He was really trying to help me out to get a good deal for me, get permission from Sir Humphrey. Sir Humphrey lives at Chillingham Castle, you know what I mean? It's really up to him whether or not he wants people to film there. So I guess he got permission from him, and I was just so thankful. But I had, you know, in the back of my head I kept saying something, you know, they could say no to some things, and I didn't know if I'd be able to do exactly what I wanted to do, and I got to do exactly what I wanted to do and more. It was amazing. So we met Graham. Okay, so first of all, sorry, I feel like it's all over the place. I just don't want it to be so long, but there's just so much to say. So the first night that we were at Chillingham Castle, we couldn't really do too much investigating because we could only go into the courtyard, which is like the main, after you go through the entrance, it's like kind of the main entrance way of Chillingham Castle. We couldn't go into any of the rooms, they're all closed down. The second night was when I was meeting with Graham and Jill, and they had access to the castle, and that was my night to film. That was when I was scheduled and stuff. So the second day at Chillingham Castle, we got to go on the daytime tour. We went into, you know, all the rooms and stuff, and that night I was meeting Graham on the ghost tour. So we wanted to go on the ghost tour. Graham put both of our names down because, you know, there's different slots. There's a certain amount of people that can go on a ghost tour at once. I think it's like 20 people or less. So he made sure to put down our names for that night, like months ago. So I met Graham, and he was so nice, and I just knew that we clicked right away. He's just as crazy as I am. He was so excited. He told me, like, you can do this, you can do that, you can go below the dungeon. Nobody has ever filmed in there before. And he's like, you're gonna be the first person. So I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. He's like, you can go into this room, you can do that, like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. So I was like, oh my god, I was so excited about that. And then, I mean, obviously, because I was so nervous, as you guys know, I was like, oh my god, like, I hope, I've been amping this up so much, I was hoping that everything would go amazing, you know what I mean? And it did. It went even, I can't even, okay. So the ghost tour was amazing. I highly recommend, if you're ever at Chillingham Castle, go on this ghost tour. It is so freaky. You hear things on this tour that you know, you can't even really read about. It's just, it's so intimate and it's crazy. There's a monk trail you walk down, and the stories that Graham was saying on the tour about these monks, and people get dragged. You guys know I want to be dragged. People get dragged walking down there. I know, but Graham, he knows. Like, Graham and Jill were amazing. So I'm just saying, this ghost tour was amazing. You know, they'll go after you, they drag people, and there's footage of it as well. It is just crazy, and the ghost visuals, like, oh my god, I have to like make a separate whole video about. I know, that's what he said. The monks remind him of. What game was that?
Resident Evil 4.
Oh, Resident Evil 4. I said this to Jonathan after the ghost tour, or even during the ghost tour. I knew that it was our time, like, as everybody was leaving, I knew, like, I started feeling uncomfortable at the castle. Not like, oh my god, I hate this place. I love Chillingham Castle. That is just my place, and I cannot wait to go back from the knowledge that we know now and to, you know, bring it onto that investigation. I just started feeling very uncomfortable at the castle. I don't know what it was. I felt like I really shouldn't be where I was. Remember I said that to you? I just felt very uneasy. So I don't know what that was all about, but sorry, going back to the ghost tour. This is when stuff started to get crazy. This was on the ghost tour. We were in the Great Hall. There is a long table, and Graham and Jill wanted all of us to sit at this table. So we all sat at this table, and everyone had to hold hands. We were at the end. Like, Jonathan was at, you know, like where the king and queen kind of sit on that end, and I was just kind of on the side. We're trying to, you know, it's all dark. It's pitch black in the room. And Graham and Jill are trying to, you know, we're all saying these things and trying to, you know, get something to happen. All of a sudden, there was this huge bang in the center of the table, and it sounded like a bowling ball hit it, and Jonathan thought something was like coming towards him.
That was freaky.
On the table, but everybody freaked out. It was so loud. It was like someone just slammed something down on the table. And it wasn't a person, or was it something that fell? I think it was something that fell.
I remember when we first, because I was on the end table,
yeah,
and you were right beside me.
Yeah.
So imagine the camera, you guys are me. So all you hear is this, like, almost like a bowling ball coming at you.
Yeah.
And I felt like one of the pins just sitting there. And then all of a sudden it just was like I thought it was coming right at you guys.
And everybody heard it, and everyone was like, like everybody was freaking out. And that was the craziest thing that happened on the ghost tour.
Well, before that, before we were in the Great Hall, we were in the torture chamber,
yeah.
Which we heard like a Graham. Only a few of us heard it.
Yeah.
And actually, it made it sound. It almost sounded
That's
like.
What it sounded like.
It sounded like again, we'll reference it, but it sounds like a zombie from Resident Evil.
And everybody heard it in that room, and we were all split up in different areas of the torture chamber. You guys have already seen that, of course, in our video. But it was just like a man or something, and that is one of the most evil areas of the castle. Like,
yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah, it's messed
really
up in that room. There was a guy on the tour, and he said he saw these two shadows of two witches before that big bang. Remember he said that? Yeah, he saw like two witches. I didn't see them. Obviously,
I didn't.
I think two other people. They were on the other end of this table. And he said he saw these two shadows of like witches or something, and that's right before the Big Bang. Anyways, I'm a part of the Chillingham Castle paranormal group on Facebook. I was invited by Graham. He invites a lot of people who were on the tours who have something to do with Chillingham Castle, you know, associated with Chillingham Castle, and just people who have had experiences there, and you could just talk about your experiences and stuff. So I'm always, you know, getting updates. I'm always in that group reading people's stuff. So that guy that saw the witches, I saw the day after, maybe 2 days after, he wrote in the group saying he was the biggest, remember I told you this? He said that he was the biggest skeptic. Yes.
Okay. You did tell me this.
He said, he wrote that he was the biggest skeptic before he came to Chillingham Castle. And what he experienced that night, like, he will never be the same, and he is the biggest believer. That's what he said, and I read it to Jonathan. I was like, it's just, there's so many skeptics that come on these tours and stuff, which, you know, I like to see that and stuff, and just reading what he said, saying it just, he was freaked out, and it was really scary because I've never experienced something like that. Jonathan's never experienced a huge bang, and it sounds threatening because it's loud and it's like a crash. So,
because all we've heard is either
knocking,
like a footstep,
yeah,
or we've heard, like we've almost heard like someone talking, or we've done like our normal communication, like with
even spirit boxes.
Like, is there anybody here? And you hear, we do like 2 knocks, and then we hear maybe a couple seconds after. But anyways, I'll let Brittany get into that. That's what we've always heard from a lot of our other videos.
So hearing this bowling ball crash on a table, like imagine a big table and someone just slams the bowling ball into the center of it. That's what it sounded like. So after the ghost tour,
like Sean Kelly there. Oh, that's what it sounded like.
So when the ghost tour ended, we were all in the tea room, and that's where the ghost tour ends. So everyone leaves, and Graham was like, "Okay, Brittany and Jonathan, you guys stay here," because right after we were doing our investigation for YouTube, for my channel, for Brittany. So Graham and Jill were just letting everybody out of the castle to lock up. So we were going to be the only ones in that castle, and like our parents as well. But they're in the courtyard area. We were in the main like areas where you want to investigate, and our parents had an experience too, which we will get at the end.
I know, that's why I started laughing.
I know, like, oh my god. We were doing some investigating. They said, so where do you guys want to go? I said, what am I allowed to do? Like, you know, because Graham told me when I first met him, like, you can do this, you can do that, but like, I still want to say, like, what am I allowed to do just in case, you know? He's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to do this, I want to do that, like, you know? And he's like, okay, well, like I said, you can go, we can take you down to The dungeon, you can go below it because no one's actually filmed underneath the dungeon where they used to drop the bodies, like throw people's bodies and where the bodies all were. So he said I was the first person to film down there, which I was so honored about. Like, that was actually amazing. So thank you so much, Grant. Yeah, so we went to the Great Hall. I think that was the last thing we did in our investigation before we talked to Graham and Jill.
Yeah.
So we started talking to them in the tea room because they were in the tea room just kind of chilling and drinking coffee and tea and stuff and just saying like, no, do what you have to do. Like, we'll just be here. If you need us to open up something, we will open it. So we just really started getting to know them, and I was just kind of telling them about my frustrations in the paranormal and how nothing ever happens to me. Like, I never see anything. I mean, obviously, I think we've captured some really good evidence over the years and stuff, and I mean, obviously, yeah, and I've seen stuff when I was a kid, and like, you've seen stuff before, but nothing crazy has happened. And I told them, like, I'm so frustrated by this because you hear this person's always having this experience, that person always gets this, and I want things to happen, and you guys know that. Like, I'm pretty much desperate for something to happen. And that's when Graham and Jill just kind of like cut me off, not really cut me off, and they just, I don't know, we were supposed to meet them. Like, they are huge inspirations
for a reason.
To the both of us. Huge inspirations now, huge role models to me. Like, I want to be just like Graham and Jill. Well, they said basically like, you are probably freaking out the spirits, because they know how like bubbly and crazy I am. And Jill told me, like, I used to be just like you. I used to be just like, and also too, they've been in the paranormal for 30 years. They've been working at Chillingham Castle, like investigating Chillingham Castle for 10 years. They know the spirits there because they're always investigating. They're always doing something at Chillingham Castle at nighttime, whether it's the ghost tour, whether it's the ghost vigil, they're always at Chillingham. They've developed a bond, a relationship with these spirits. The spirits know them. And they just told me that is basically your problem. These spirits don't know you. When you go to these haunted locations, you're just shoving a camera in their face and all this equipment and saying, do this, do that. Like, you guys know how crazy. And that's basically what they were saying. Like, you're probably, you know, they're just like, who the heck is this girl? Like, why am I gonna do this? Like, I don't know you. And they were just saying, like, think of it as someone just coming into your home and being like, oh, can you do this for me? Like, oh my God, can you do this? Can you knock? Can you walk? Can you say my name? Like,
yeah, then you got your camera and you're dramatically turning it around. And, stuff. And the thing is too, like,
it's like we're the paparazzi.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when we had going in there, it made all sense from what Jill and Graham were saying. It's like, you just can't do that. Like,
and they also said they don't use cameras.
They do it old school.
They do it old school, and I like that. I really admired that. And they said, like, we don't use cameras, we don't use any paranormal equipment. And that's just kind of when this conversation just turned into, like, we just really connected with them. And they really liked us. That sounds so weird. They really
got along so well.
Yeah. They were just saying, like, you gotta just, you know, step back and relax and stop forcing things to happen. You have to just go with the flow. Don't lose your bubbly personality. That's what Jill said, you know.
Remember her reenactment?
I know.
Jill, it's actually really funny.
Yeah.
She's a lot like Brittany.
Yeah.
But like,
and she's blonde too.
And she's blonde, and they're older. We look up to them. Like, they're like our their mentors. Like,
oh yeah, they're totally like mentors to us. Yeah.
But Jill's like doing the reenactment. She's like, Brittany, I was like you. She's like, I'm like, so he goes, like, and it's exactly what you do. And she's like, I was like, well, I'm like, are we talking to like Brittany from the future?
Yeah, she really is,
really
with an English accent.
With an English accent, and I thought they were Scottish. And it was so awkward.
I know, they sound like they're Scottish. So like, we're not Scottish.
I know.
Sorry. Back, you know, when she was younger, like probably around my age, like our age, she was so desperate to see a ghost, get something, you know what I mean? I know, so she was telling me, she's like, I was so desperate, like, she would walk into a house, woo! Like, and that's literally how I walk in, like, woo! You know what I mean? That's how I walked into Chillingham Castle, like, I started dancing.
I know, it's like a dance party.
They were just really giving me advice and saying, like, just put the cameras away. They said, why don't you try that? And I was like, yeah, but, like, I'm a YouTuber, and if something happens, I don't have any proof. And
we kept stalling because we were like, well, we don't want to waste it because we just flew all the way to Canada, from Canada to here.
And like, but I understood what they were saying, but they just said, like, why don't you just put the cameras away and see? And they said, we know the spirits. You're like, they were saying they have like a bond with the spirits, and the spirits trust them. And they basically said to Jonathan and I, you need to form trust with the spirits at any location you go to. They need to trust you. Like, why, when you walk in, why are you gonna just shove a camera and a microphone and
trusted you?
Oh yeah, he trusted you. Why are they gonna do what you want them to do if they don't even know you? It's kind of like, who is this bitch? Like, honestly, who is she? It's true, and it just clicked in my head. And they said, like, we don't even call it ghost hunting. We think it's so disrespectful to say that. And it, like, clicked in our heads again. We're just like, they are us from the future. They were telling us all these things that they've experienced at Chillingham Castle with no cameras and stuff. Sometimes they've had some cameras set up outside because people were being, like, dragged by these monks. And it's caught on camera, like...
The Resident Evil 4 months.
Yeah, down the Monks Trail, it is freaky. So they had to kind of, there's all this stuff they had to do. Chillingham Castle, guys, like I've said, it's the scariest place on earth. It is effed up what happens there, like what people experience and everything. It is insane, but in a good way, because I love it there. There are good spirits there, and then there are not such good spirits there. So we didn't know, obviously you guys know about John Sage. He's one of the main spirits there. He was an evil man and stuff, and he's there. But then there's also like Lady Mary, and she's a good spirit, so you kind of just don't know who you're talking to. But Graham and Jill, they've talked to the good spirits and they've talked to the not so good spirits. So they said, you know what, let's go up to the Great Hall. So we're just like, okay. And they said, you know what, just I'll bring my, I brought my camera and my lights. Also too, yeah, I have these big bright lights attached to my camera. So the spirits are probably like, who is this girl? And when Jonathan and I were in there investigating, before we were talking to Graham and Jill, like in depth about things, you know, we were saying, can you do this? Can you do that in the Great Hall? And the spirits, literally, we talk about this, we think they were probably like standing in the room like, no, we're not gonna do that. Like, who the hell are you? So yeah, Graham and Joe are like, come on, let's go upstairs and let's try something out. You know, we do this all the time, and you know, just turn your camera off, relax, and just let us just, you know, show you kind of how to do this. So we were sitting in the Great Hall, and we decided, it's a huge table. We decided to split up. So I was gonna sit on one end, Jonathan was gonna sit on the other end, and Graham and Jill were kind of like in the center of the table, but far apart from each other. Like, we were all scattered around this table.
It was a Harry Potter table where they all eat. Imagine that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it was exactly that length, but it was long.
So we're just sitting there, and you know, the lights are out and stuff, and I had my camera off. I closed like my viewfinder and everything, turned the lights out, and we just said, you know, let's sit in silence and see what happens. So I was like, okay, you know, in my head I'm like, nothing is gonna happen because no ghost wants to show themselves to me for whatever reason, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that to myself. So we're all just spread out, and Graham and Jill, like, we let them take it away, and we're saying stuff. And that's when we started hearing like weird creaks on the table and near me. So I was like, oh my God, like, no, like this has to just be, I don't know, like the table for some reason is making a noise, like, you know what I mean? But no, like, guys, so they're like, okay, you know what, let's get closer, let's hold hands. So they all came to my end of the table, Jonathan, Jill, and Graham, and we were just kind of in a circle, holding hands. And Graham and Jill are like, Brittany and Jonathan, they came from, I was going to say, they came from Chillingham Castle. They came from Canada. This has been a huge dream of Brittany since she was a little girl, watching Scariest Places on Earth, like literally telling them like the show we watched, the Olsen family, like going into detail and stuff.
I didn't know they had a show. Like,
I don't know, and they just said like Jonathan and Brittany are great people, like you can trust them. Brittany would die if you could do something. That's literally what they said, and I'm like, oh my God, like is something gonna happen? Guys, all of a sudden that bowling ball sound that we heard during the ghost tour in the center of the table, it's the same table, like we're in the Great Hall, it was right in front of me. It sounded like someone grabbed a bowling ball and just went, oh, right in front of me on the table. And I remember, okay, like I actually can't believe I'm about to admit this, but I said, like Brittany44 and Brittany Crab, I was like, can we turn on the light? That's exactly what I said. Do you remember that?
Something Buster back.
So Graham and Jill, they rushed and they turn on the light and they're just like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, it's just, I've never experienced I don't know what that was, like, you know what I mean? And I was shaking, like, John could feel me, like, I wasn't shaking because I was freaked out, but I was excited, like, so excited.
And I remember too, this is when Brittany's voice went from how she's talking now, and she was like, but Jill, what I do?
Oh yeah.
You started losing your voice, but then when we started, which Brittany will tell you more, when Brittany was shaking, I could hear her talking, but I thought you were crying. But you really lost your voice, and I'm like, because I remember we were all holding hands, and then I put both I remember letting go of Jill's hand. I'm like, Brittany, are you okay? Like, it's all right, it's all right. Because I thought you were actually like getting. Like,
no, I sounded like a demon.
Because we were all like, even I was jumping. Well, we all were.
But this bang that was in front of me, like, I knew that it was for me, and I was shaking even more, but I was excited, and I was also freaked out, but I wanted more. The weapon under my arm here, it went like, it was like someone grabbed it and just
placed it somewhere else and faced it.
And I said, John, did you feel that? Like, it moved. Anyways, guys, the frickin' table levitated. Now, I know there's gonna be people, and this is why I was so hesitant to even film this video. And we were literally just gonna keep it to ourselves. We're just like, you know what? This is a crazy story. The table was in the frickin' air. Jill and Graham were like, it's okay, like, you guys are fine and stuff. And I was like, I've never experienced anything like this. What the heck? Like, we're all holding hands and the table just, and Graham and Jill are asking questions. It was probably like that much off the air.
Yeah.
And in the air. Graham and Jill are asking questions, and it started like shaking. Then it slammed down to the floor. I'm shaking right now just thinking about it.
That was nuts.
I would do anything to have that footage on camera. But at the same time, like, I know there's gonna be people that might be like, oh, like, you have no proof. I totally get that. Like, I get that.
Just laughing in the bush, you're like, ah.
But it's true. I know my viewers will trust us and believe that.
Yeah.
But I know, like, random, like, negative Nancy's and stuff, I get it. I totally know where you're coming from. This is a crazy story, but it happened. This table levitated 4 times, and there's the 4 again. It kept going up in the air when we're asking questions. Literally, the way we describe it, what we experienced was a horror movie. It was literally something out of a horror movie that I personally, you guys know how skeptic I have become. I'm a huge believer though, but I am so skeptic of things. This has just, I'm even more.
It's opened your eyes.
Oh God, yes. I am even more of a believer than I ever was before. And the fact that this happened at Chillingham Castle, like, I've never in my life, this is something I will never ever forget. And we couldn't believe this happened. A freaking table levitated 4 times in the air. 4 times, shaking, smashing, and it was.
No, just the way it went smashing.
But it was true. Graham and Jill, it was just funny what they were saying to the spirits. Like, they said, you're gonna make Brittany's day if you do this. And I was saying that too. I was like, thank you so much. Like, you don't even know how much this means to me. I was literally like fangirling when this table was in the air and saying like, thank you, this is like what I want. Like, if you can do this. I felt like somebody was behind me. I don't know who was behind me, but somebody was standing behind me. And I just feel like we made those spirits happy and almost flattered because we traveled all the way from Canada. And I think we made them happy that we've always wanted to come to Chillingham and do an investigation. So they were literally putting on a show for us. I think we made the spirits really happy there. I don't think they've ever like had people like us there. Like, who the heck are these people? Like, why are they fangirling over our castle?
When you walk in, you're wearing like all pink and colors. And
I know. I was so excited to be there. And we thanked those spirits so much. There was laughter coming from under the table.
Well, I remember, well, you just reminded me, but I remember.
I know, it's all coming back to us.
Because there was a mixture, plant animals.
Of good and bad.
But there was good and bad.
In that room with us.
But I think there was more bad, unfortunately. Yeah. But there was good in there too. But I remember Jill and I heard like something laughing. Something kept touching Jill's leg.
Yeah.
But Jill was so like used to it.
Oh yeah, she's so used to it.
It was like I think of like a child, like with a mother or father or whatever, and the kid keeps touching them or something, and it's like don't do that, stop that.
Yeah.
You know, but it was like Brittany and I were like, we had like a force field, like we were like protected by something was watching us that night.
Yeah.
Like looking out for us too while we were there.
It could have been the good spirits. The ones who were putting on the show for us, I think were the good spirits.
And that happened with that was another thing too. Just reminded me is usually when you have to ask for things, and you've seen it in Brittany's videos, you've seen it in our, and you know, like it usually takes a few minutes for, like, for example, it's like, is there anybody here? And all of a sudden we always go, did you hear that? Like maybe about maybe 2 minutes in, when Jill and Graham said, hey, could you guys do something for Brittany, she would die for it. Instantly, like boom, it was like right on cue.
Because they know them.
Yeah.
The spirits know Graham and Jill.
We didn't have to wait. There was none of that. Like it just happened. It was, as Brittany said earlier, it was just like there was so much to take in. Like it was like going on like a roller coaster, and it was,
oh my god,
like it was nuts, but it was so, as I said, yeah, scary,
but exciting.
But yeah, no, it was. What was I saying though before that? Like,
oh, the laughing under the table. I heard it too.
We heard laughing, and then
do the impression.
Well, I heard like a
yeah,
like that was definitely the evil spirits, but
and the evil spirits were pretending to be something even more evil at one point.
Yeah,
and that's when the table levitated. Maybe this was like the third time or something. And I remember
trying to spook us out,
trying to scare us. Yeah, because I was there like I was fangirling over this.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah,
it's like, thank you. She's like, says that was insane, and Jill or Graham says that's.
No, they said don't. No, remember I said I was like, when the table was in the air. This is like the third time. I was like, yay!
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
And Graham was like, don't say yay.
You're starting to encourage that, right?
Well, it's because he said it was one of the bad spirits that was lifting that time. Like the other two times, I think it was the good spirits.
Thank God.
I was like, oh, I take that back. I said, no, I didn't mean that.
Imagine the table. Imagine you say, oh, I take that back. I also like the table like sits down again. No, I did. That actually did happen.
No,
that's all I imagined.
It sounds like when the table was hitting the floor that hard, it just like it was shaking. It was in the air. And we've been reenacting this to our parents when we were on the cruise ship. Like we lifted tables up saying this is what it looked like. I mean, it's been almost a month since we experienced that, and we are filming this like September 27th, I think, and you guys are watching this October 31st. But we wanted to say this in a separate video because it was the most insane night. And also too, I got so sick, and I never get sick, knock on wood, but I never get sick. And when we were talking to Graham and Jill and stuff like that, I was talking like how I'm talking to you guys, right? Normal conversation. So like, what should I say?
Just say,
I'll be like,
pretend
yeah, my favorite color is pink, I love pink. Like, yeah. My voice just cut out mid-sentence, and I didn't feel weird before, and I was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? And that was the first symptom I had, and I feel like we should make a separate video almost about the cruise.
Quarantine.
John was quarantined on the cruise for 24 hours at one point, and this is like after I was, and also too, we got sick at the same time, but we had different symptoms. I mean, we could have caught something on the plane, you know what I mean? But the fact that we got sick at the same time, like Jonathan had a sore throat and I lost my voice. But it was like we both had the weirdest symptoms, and every single day we woke up we had another symptom. I had a, what's it called, pink eye.
Yeah.
I woke up one morning with pink eye. Yeah. But I woke up one morning with pink eye. Like, what the heck? And I'm still getting over this. I mean, I just kind of have a cough. But I was hacking, like, whew, I don't know. But we were thinking, like, what if it was one of the bad spirits that made us sick? Because we were totally fine, and we got sick at the same time. But like I said, maybe we caught something on a plane. Who knows? But it's the timing. And I even tweeted about it. Like, I have numerous tweets, like, saying I lost my voice. This is the most effed up illness that I've ever had. Because
we both got sick, and we have never been sick. Well, we've both been sick before, but that's when we were
at the same time.
We had chicken pox at Christmas. That was
when we were like 5.
with Tristan. The 3 of us all had it, but that's
like the only time we've been sick at the same time.
And then you fast forward to the future, it's like that was a long time ago. I don't want to make it sound old, but it's like, you know, that was kind of what we were thinking. But you know, so you know, we had from traveling, we might have been sick because we kind of lack of sleep. And then my little thing I was telling Brittany after we left, I think the next day after we were leaving Chilean, we were discussing on the train, was that maybe, you know, I don't think so. I didn't feel like Graham or Jill were pretending that, like, at all, like they were being real, because remember I said that the people were coming in with those black suits, like,
I know, because well, that's the thing.
We were joking about that.
Oh yeah, no, after the tables levitated and after like we were done doing what we were doing in the Great Hall, we all put our hands on the table and tried to lift it as a group.
Yeah.
That table,
it's heavy.
Is so heavy. There's no way any of us could have, like, I don't know, lifted it ourselves as it was happening. Like, I'm trying to say, like, it happened. Like, we didn't fake it, but obviously we have no footage. Like, so it's not like you guys can judge me. Oh, I don't even know.
You just reminded me, the table also didn't just levitate, but near the end of it, it actually eventually tipped. Remember, it started tipping.
And shaking.
Shaking, and I still believe that, you know, it actually did it on its own, because you gotta remember too, Jill.
We're all holding hands.
We're all holding hands, but
no
what
way.
did they do? Did they use their leg and go like Jill? Like, and we didn't hear anyone whispering, and that's another thing. Remember the people in the black suits? Like, there could have been. What I mean by the black suits, you guys have been in the plays when the curtains are down. Like, think of it like you're at your school if you want, when you were like a little kid, or you go to like a.
We were just joking, like, what if, like, they, you know, Chilean Castle hires these people and they come out when the lights are out and, like, they start lifting tables and shaking things and doing weird stuff.
Wearing the black suits.
Like I said, I just think we made the spirits happy, that we were so excited to come there and experience something, and just the fact that they put on a show for us and they levitated the table, like, I can't.
It's gonna always stick with us.
It's always, you know, it changed our lives. It's definitely changed the way we go into places now. I'm not going to be all like, woo! Like, you know, in my head, maybe on the way there, but I'm not going to walk into, like, I don't know.
We'll be more, well, we're
going to do a lot of things off camera. And maybe we won't share it in a video, but even Graham and Jill said, like, we wanted to share the Chilean Castle thing in a video, but originally we were just going to keep it to ourselves, because we're just like, you know what, this is a crazy story. Nothing this crazy has ever happened to us. Like, you know what I mean? And the fact that it happens when we're not filming, we're like, oh great, people are going to say stuff. But Graham and Jill said, like, if you just put the cameras away, the lights, all the paranormal equipment, just watch what will happen. And we're really going to start doing that on investigations. Obviously, we're still going to film. Obviously, there's going to be spirit box sessions. That's not going to change, but our way of going in is going to change. And we're not ghost hunters.
And you just
we're paranormal investigators.
And that's the thing, too, I was saying to Brittany, was we can maybe, our goal now is, we're still going to do things on camera. And then eventually it's like, okay, well, let's try the cameras off. And unfortunately, you guys won't be able to see that.
Yeah.
But with time and more experience, maybe we can just do things off camera at first, like, and then we can ask them, since we've gotten to know them throughout the night, or if we somehow end up doing an investigation for a few days or weeks on it, who knows in the future, maybe, just maybe, they'll allow everything to be shown on camera. It's that relationship bonding, right?
And that is the key. That's what we took from our
experience at Chilean.
We were supposed to be at Chilean Castle. Like, this was supposed to happen, and I just can't get over the fact that it happened at, like, my dream location. It's something that, like, we will never, ever
forget.
So when we were talking to them and stuff, like, I was just saying, like, thank you, like, I just can't believe what we experienced tonight. And they just said, like, you can have all the paranormal equipment in the world, but that does not mean that you're going to make communication. And I've always said to you, and I say to my viewers, paranormal equipment is all theories. There's no proof behind it. The spirit box, it's like, it's radio frequencies.
That probably freaks them out, because that thing is so loud, and you've heard us say, it's just like, is anybody here?
We're starting to think, well, maybe we're freaking them out. And then like Jill said, like, you know, Brittany, you're so bubbly. Never lose that. She told me, never lose that. Always be yourself. Don't change yourself. But just kind of relax. Don't just, you know, like that's what she was doing. She was like,
it's exactly like you.
Yeah, she said that's exactly what she used to be. She was like, oh, I just want something to happen. And she said as soon as she put away the cameras and just let everything be, that's when she saw everything. And she said, you know, she's like, I know that you're a YouTuber and I know that you want to share these things with your viewers. And she doesn't have a channel. Like Graham and Jill, they don't have a channel or anything like that. You know, they share these things with their family or their friends. But my goal in life is to have the best evidence ever. And I want, you know, our goal is to eventually get, you know, a table levitating on camera, but making that relationship and that trust. And that's like the whole point of this video is what we've learned
and it could
from that night.
And it could take quite some time.
Yeah. I've probably this whole time been scaring spirits away. I probably have. They're probably like, this girl is insane. Like, what the heck is this person? Like, we've never witnessed somebody like this. And it's true. Like, I don't take offense. They're more scared of us, and you just kind of have to relax and be patient with them. And of course, you guys know I get frustrated at times. I mean, like, you know, I get frustrated sometimes too if something doesn't happen. But just the fact that, you know, once we relaxed in that great hall and I just let Jill and Graham take it away, I could not believe what we experienced. We are telling you what we both experienced, and the fact that the both of us experienced it. And, you know, we're both like kind of like skeptic with that stuff. Like, I never thought I would, in my life or ever, okay, honestly, I'm just gonna come clean about this. I never thought a table could levitate. I honestly thought it was bullshit, I don't even care. I literally thought it was bullshit. I was like, there's no way, it's all in the horror movies. I just never believed in that, to be honest. No. You can call it ghost hunting if you want. I'm not here to preach to you about that. This is just our opinion and how we feel with what we've experienced, and you can call it whatever you want. Like, I'm not here to say, like, if you're gonna tweet me and be like, girl, are you going on a ghost hunt? It's not like I'm gonna ignore you and be like, excuse me, you called it a ghost hunt? It's not like I'm gonna say that, but
get all contrary.
Yeah, just don't know. Like, it's paranormal investigating, and yeah, we just don't say ghost hunt. And I just think this was supposed to shape us and evolve us.
Oh, we're definitely evolving from this. We still got a lot to learn, but we are evolving. And
Jill and Graham are just who we look up to in the paranormal, like, so much. They have just changed our lives.
Could you imagine we go back? It's like, is Jill and Graham here? Who's Jill and Graham?
Oh my god, they're the ghosts the whole time. We came back to the apartment, and now our apartment, there's two doors. There's a main floor door, and then there's like an upstairs. So on the upstairs floor, there's a kitchen, there's a living room, and then you go downstairs, there's the bathroom, there's 2 bedrooms. It was a freaking house, guys. I was not expecting that. When we first arrived, we're like, woo! And our key said number 4 on it, and I posted that in my Instagram story at Birdie44, follow me. I'll probably post that somewhere in this video as well so you guys can see that. But number 4, I remember when Alan, he works at Chillingham, and he gave us the keys, and I was like, 4! It says 4! And he looked at me like, huh? I said, oh, sorry, the number 4 just follows me everywhere. And he's like, oh, all right. He was really nice though too. And so we came back to the court yard, or like, oh my god, we came back to our apartment, and we just walked into the door, and we were walking downstairs to the bedrooms, and our parents there, right? So as we're like halfway down the stairs, and our dad, he's like running up the stairs. He's like all like disoriented, like like he's like gone crazy. Yeah, he just like woke up out of a dead sleep, and his eyes were all red. He's like looking at us like that. And I was like, what is your problem? And he's like, you wouldn't believe what has been happening here. And like, my dad is a skeptic. He is a believer too, but like, you know.
He's the most skeptic.
He is. And same with our mom. Like, she's just kind of like, nothing's gonna happen kind of thing.
That's gonna happen, Rick. I don't know what you're talking about.
We kind of exaggerate our voice, but like.
It's not actually like that.
They basically said they've been hearing this loud, hard walking above them. And like I said, we have 2 floors in our apartment. The bedrooms are all on the bottom floor. So above us is the kitchen and living room. And that's what is above the bedroom. And Jonathan and I, we were in the main part of the castle all night, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't us. And my mom, and like, they were awake, and I said, why didn't you guys record it? And my mom was like, I told that your dad would record it, but he didn't record it. And she was like all mad about it, so I was like, then why didn't you record it? But like, you know, you're in the moment, I get it. And they just heard like this, just very heavy walking, going back and forth. They heard someone sit in the chair almost.
It's like 6 people, I think they said it was like up
yeah, there. And we're just like, oh my god, like, it's the monks, because Graham, before we went back to our apartment, Graham said, so you're in the courtyard, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, has anything happened in there? And I was like, no, I don't think so, like that. And then he's like, well, you want to hear something? So I was like, okay. And he's like, you know where the living room area is? And I was like, yeah. And it's on the 2nd level, guys. And he said, you know where the TV is? And the window that's right beside it, that big window. And I was like, yeah. He said, there's a monk that people see staring through that window, looking right at them. And I just got the heebie-jeebies when he told me that, like chills. I was like, are you serious?
I'm like, we have to go back to that room now. I'm like, oh, we'll be fine. That was like the safe room.
Yeah, it was like kind of like our safe house in a way. Like, I mean, obviously the whole castle is haunted, but there's certain parts that are more haunted than, you know, other parts. So I was like, oh my god, that is so scary. Like, my stomach dropped when he said that. And then when we got back to our parents and they were saying that, I was like, it must be monks. People see a monk in the window, like I said, like Graham said. But how is he standing there? Because it's on the 2nd floor. So obviously this monk is floating at the window. And there's been so many reports of that. So our parents were actually pretty freaked out by what they heard. Yeah. They said it was just heavy footsteps, and they heard someone sitting in a chair almost and like rocking it back and forth.
Someone else was crying.
Oh yeah, my dad heard a lady crying. And I was like, well, maybe that's Lady Mary, because they say that she roams around the castle. She's one of the most like famous ghosts there, like one of the most like recognized ghost stories there, and she kind of roams all over the castle and she cries over her husband. We survived Chillingham Castle. Not many people do. We were talking to the staff there, and they told us people will be in their rooms, their apartments at night, and get up and leave in the middle of the night.
Oh, that woman we didn't believe. Remember, she had a bunch of suitcases, and Alan had to help her. And she requested someone to help bring the stuff to the room. Anyways, Alan like woke up the next day or something, and she was gone, and all her luggage was gone.
A lot of people do not make it overnight. That's like, they don't die. It's just they say, I have to go. And they like run to their cars and they never look back. Yeah. That's what they were telling us. So my parents were like, oh my god, like, because my mom gets kind of like freaked out by this stuff. Like, she doesn't want to see an apparition or something, but she's also like very skeptical. But I told her, I was like, this is the scariest place on earth we're going to. And they know, because I've been talking about Chillingham Castle since I was like 9, like whenever I first discovered it and stuff. But like, we are here to let you guys know. Yeah. It is the scariest place on earth. It is the most haunted place on earth. It is insane. It's
gonna take a lot to top it with our locations. But now, if we ever go back to, you know, old locations we've been to, we're gonna try this new technique. And, you know, unfortunately, we are gonna try to maybe somehow, you know, so we're gonna do like we'll think of it like this. We'll do like a practice run without the cameras, and then we'll ask them off camera, can we use the camera? So we have to do this off camera. Can we film you on camera, and you know, give us one knock? If we hear one knock, then we'll do it. Or, you know, we're gonna really try to get that camera. That's gonna be like our new goal.
Oh, yeah.
Go to different locations, and it may not work out, but you know, it's in everyone. And you're allowed to be skeptical.
Oh God, yeah.
We're not saying you have to believe us. You can believe what you need to believe. Seeing isn't believing.
Well, seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. It's from the Santa Claus.
Or you could be. What if I choose not to believe it? I
just want to say too, that's kind of why Britty 44's fear was kind of cut short. We were supposed to kind of play against each other, and I have no regrets at all, because I feel like if we never talked into, like, you know, to Graham and Jill in more depth and telling them about ourselves and really getting to know each other, we would have never experienced that. I would have never seen a, you know, table levitate.
Yeah.
It was a freaking horror movie. Like, it's something you see in The Conjuring, and you always relate table levitations or anything levitating with demonic stuff.
Yeah.
There was obviously like bad spirits in there, but I think majority of the table levitations were definitely the good spirits, but that third time was definitely a bad spirit because he was laughing under the table and I heard it too.
Yeah. And he kept touching Jill's leg.
Kept touching Jill's leg and she's like, stop it. She was so calm.
And remember, she's like, are you okay, Brittany? And you're like, are you okay? I know. It happened to Jill. Yeah. Graham not so much, but you know, again, Jill could have been making that up, but I don't.
She wasn't. No.
Because she kept like slapping her own leg. She's just like, stop doing that.
No, like they are the most like honest, down to earth paranormal investigators we have ever met. They are made for the paranormal, and I wish there were more people like them in the paranormal community. Why does it sound like I'm losing my voice? Or maybe I
guess we can end it here. And again, if
there's
Graham and Jill, if you're watching this, thank you so much for showing that to us, because it's again, it's
changed us for sure.
Like it's very magical now, you know, seeing what's like in store out there now for us.
Like I said, like we are skeptics, but it's like, and we were always believers, and now this has turned us into even bigger believers. But yes, there is a spirit world.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my God. Like whatever you believe, there is a spirit world. They were moving that table. They like threw a bowling, there wasn't actually a bowling ball on the table. That's what I'm saying.
It was like an object that
it sounded like someone, and I can almost like feel like the presence of somebody standing behind me, like, you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. Yeah, it was so loud. Like, I just can't stop talking about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story. And I think it's perfect to end Brittyween. And when I end it, I'm gonna go cut back to when I'm in my costume and stuff. So that's how I really end it.
But that's not really how this video ended, which I really do apologize for, guys. I still don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, but if you are hearing my voice right now, obviously you are watching this. But I also wanted to point out as well, the part in my Chillingham Castle Bridge 44 series when you hear me and Jonathan, or see me and Jonathan, actually, you know what, I'm just gonna play this clip for you. It's when Jonathan says, should we tell them?
Should we tell them what happened to us earlier?
I want to, at the same time, it's like we have no proof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate it when it's like, oh, but this happened.
I know.
Why didn't you get it on camera? He wasn't talking about the levitation. This whole investigation in the Great Hall was way before the levitation. What he was referring to was when we were on the ghost tour and the big bowling ball sound is what we heard in the center of the table. That's what he was talking about. So that had nothing to do with the levitation. So I just kind of wanted to make that clear in case anybody was wondering about that. But that is what he was talking about. It's so crazy, but that is the table that levitated. Now also too, this table is huge, right? The whole table was not in the air. It was just part of it. As you can see, it's like divided up into a few tables that make one. So it wasn't the whole thing in the air. It was just the one part that we were at. I also find this conversation so crazy, how I was talking about, you know, imagine the table went like this. I'll just play it for you guys so you can see.
And you know, it's entirely up to you, Brittany, because, you know, but
I'm just like, okay, if we did turn off all the cameras and stuff, and we put our cameras away and everything, and something did happen, and then I come on my channel and I'm like, oh my God, guys, this table just, and all the weapons flew, and then I, like, you know, shoot back to it to show you what happened, like the aftermath, people will be like, you and Jonathan just did it.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, guys, even if you think, like, I don't have the strength, and together I don't think we have the strength to really, like, lift these tables and to flip everything around. And if we did do that on purpose, I think, like, you know, we would be banned from Chillingham Castle.
For good.
I just find it so weird how we're talking about that. It's almost like maybe the spirits were listening to us because, you know, this is before all the crazy stuff happened. You know, it was after the ghost tour, of course, but it's before the levitation, and it was just crazy, guys. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If this video ever does get uploaded, I'm just so nervous about it. I don't know. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm really nervous about it, and Chillingham Castle has changed my life forever. I
cannot wait to go back, and I can't wait to go to a future investigation, a future location, and take the knowledge that I've learned from Chillingham and, you know, bring it there and just, you know, use these different techniques. And I'm really excited, and I don't know, it just changed my life. I don't know, I'm getting like emotional about it. I don't know. It really changed my life, and I've just learned so much. I don't want this video to be so long because it's already so long, but I just feel, I'm so honored that I got to experience what I experienced at my dream location. Like, I cannot believe I was actually there. It was amazing, guys. And I'm sitting here right now wearing my I Survived Chillingham Castle shirt as I'm recording this. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and just heard, you know, I hope you enjoyed hearing our entire journey. And Jonathan and I still talk about that night. It was insane for the both of us. So as you guys can see, oh my god, this video was so long. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you rock my world, and the song lyrics of Michael Jackson. Hashtag team Rudy44, hashtag Baritharins, hey. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.